Have you ever wondered why?
When?
How much?
What if?
Well, you're in luck, because you're listening to the Hypotheticast.
3 best buds.
On a mission.
To ask all the questions?
And get all the answers.
Blazing, and I do think I'm amazing. You got the dignity to feel a little about yourself. I don't care what your preacher says. I got my own vicious ways. Only got one commandment and it goes, I'm killing it. I'm killing it.
Hey, friends.
Ooh, hi.
We've gathered together in a room.
We sure have.
Why are we here?
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
It's the Hypotheticast.
Yay.
Thank goodness. My name's David.
My name is Emily.
My name is Mike. Today, we have a special theme that I picked out. It's pizza. Just kidding.
Round two, baby.
We could do another round of
second
pizza.
Slice.
But this time, it's another obsession of mine. Escape rooms.
Whenever we let Mike pick the theme, we always make him figure out everything that's going to be in that episode because that's the punishment for having weird ideas.
Well, it's not a punishment. It's fun.
All right.
A privilege.
Mike has done 1 million escape rooms. David has done some escape rooms, but
Less than
also
Mike, for
is
sure.
very like game-minded. I've done a handful. I don't think I'm that great at them, and I don't have a lot of experience with them, so that's why I didn't help. Okay?
But Emily, you and I think we did the first escape room
We did the first escape
together.
room ever.
Well, no, I mean that was,
No,
I
yeah.
think, my first escape room. And
It was
you,
for sure mine.
It was also, I think, the first escape room in the twin.
I think
in
it was too, and it was
Minneapolis.
very early on in the trend, and so we do need to tell this story quick. It was sketchy AF. Like it was, you had gotten.
I think
you just bought 2
Facebook used its
tickets.
targeting ad to figure
Yeah.
out that, hey, Mike would be into this new thing called escape rooms. Because the minute I saw the words escape room, I was like, lock me up, baby.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So then you invited me, and it was right in our neighborhood here.
Yeah.
It was sort of looked like a kind of rundown apartment
Yeah,
building.
definitely.
So we like waited for a long time in this weird lobby.
yeah, we couldn't even get into the building for a while.
Yeah.
We like tried to ring it and no one was coming. We're like, is this
and then
part of
we
the
were
puzzle?
like shuffled up to this little, like up a half flight of stairs to this little landing area where we again had to wait for a long time. And then a few more people showed up that were a part of a meetup group. So no one really knew each other. But the best part was that there was another door that wasn't the escape room that other people from off the street like every 15 minutes would come up and like knock on the door.
Yeah.
And then this woman would open it, and then they would
in a bathrobe.
in a bathrobe, and then they would go in, and then someone else would leave. So that happened several times, and we were all kind of like, what? And then later, Mike looked it up.
Yeah.
Definitely like special massage parlor.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, for a second, I was like, how did you look that up? Did you just Google lady in bathrobe?
Yes.
And then I realized that you knew the address of the place
Yeah.
where you
no,
were.
I just said, why would people be going into an apartment at
Just
random
Googled
intervals?
the question.
Yeah.
She runs this business. Like she was very confident and welcoming to these people who came for her special massage services.
Well, what made it weird is that we didn't know it was a meetup group. Like we just signed up and like the other spots had just all been filled. And these people kept showing up in like pairs or by themselves and they didn't seem to know each other either. And we were like, why are all
I was like,
you
are we
here?
just being lured here to get murdered?
Yeah, like did you
Yeah.
just like
Is
somehow
this just like a fun serial killer trend where you're just
Yeah.
pretending we're gonna play a game and instead you're gonna kill us all?
And the actual room, because it was so early, like it was not decorate. Like now there's really elaborate decorations in rooms and you kind of like expect that just because there's so many rooms. But this one was just like everything was just on the floor, I think.
It actually looked like what it was supposed to look like, which was like a weird war criminal bunker or something. I mean, it was very, very low budget and sketchy and like flickering light bulbs that I don't think were even intentional. And
Yeah.
Nice. I do think that probably there's a podcast right now that lady in the bathrobe is on, and she's like, this one time I moved in next door to this BDSM bunker where people kept yelling, lock me up, baby, as they went in, like making a bunch of assumptions
She's
about
like,
how
Need
weird,
help,
like,
help us.
She's
I
like,
was
I'm doing this
just-
normal sex thing, and these people are yelling about how they're in chains and how they're war criminals. I don't know what's going on over there.
I wish her the best. Wait, I just want to quickly, Everybody knows what escape rooms are, right?
What is an escape room anyway?
All right. So an escape room is a place or room where you are trapped in there for an hour, and for the most part, not actually trapped. There's all kinds of stuff you might have to encounter in the room. Lots of puzzles, hopefully different kinds of puzzles, but it's kind of, I like to see it at its best. It's kind of like live theater, except that everything except for the actors are there.
Right.
And you are encountering the story and you go through it and there is a nice narrative flow. And when you finish, like, it's like so exciting. A lot of people are like, it's so stressful, you just have an hour. But it creates this like fun, it's like a game you play with your friends or your coworkers or strangers that results in like a very unique thing that's become, just in the last couple of years, like suddenly there's a bunch of them and a lot of people are suddenly like, finding out what they are. And full disclosure, I work at one. But I see all kinds of different people go to them.
Do you think that it's a bubble?
Right now, there's a lot. All of the ones that are not that great, or people are just jumping on like the escape room wagon, those are going to close up. But I think the ones that are willing to evolve, like, they'll be around for a while. To get people to go out and do something, it has to be a unique activity. And I think escape rooms can really like go with that.
Totally.
As a kid, like, playing pretend was like the best thing in the world. And every time I enter an escape room, it's like someone being like, do what you did when you were a kid and just pretend to be someone else that's figuring this thing out. And it's so fun.
Do you role play? All right. My accent for this one is going to be...
If I was with other people that wouldn't be annoyed / freaked out by that, I would. I'm not even kidding.
I promise if we ever do an escape room together, I will support you and do an accent along with you.
Now that people know what these things are, we're going to talk about them more.
What's our first segment?
First segment, Would You Rather? A game we made up where we have to choose between two or more deceptively simple options, just like in an escape room. A lot of options.
Lots of branching paths that you follow. Yeah.
Our first question comes from Libby Malone. Would you rather have to go through a new and challenging series of escape room puzzles in order to leave any building or in order to enter any bathroom?
This is so good. I love this question so much. Leave any building would make me late a lot. I don't think I could solve elaborate puzzles when I had to pee.
Yeah.
So I would have to plan ahead and be like, I know I've had a good amount of water today. I'm going to need to start figuring out those puzzles because the more I have to pee, the less patience I have for puzzles.
Yeah, I think you're on the right track, David, with regard to like having to plan out bathroom. It's sort of like on a road trip.
Yeah.
When you're like, okay, we're stopping here. I don't really have to go, but this is where we are. So I'm going to go. And then you're like, all right, we'll probably stop again in a couple hours. If you plan your day like that, but that also means you'd have to do that at your own home too, because it just says bathroom.
Yeah, any bathroom.
Yeah. But you'd also have to do the puzzles when you left your own home.
I know. No, I think bathroom's the way to go just because like leaving buildings happens so frequently and it has
I mean, it would determine like what kind of job you had. Like, what if you were a UPS person?
Yeah,
and you like came into a building and then you're like, all right, here's your package, see you later. And then an hour passes and then you can deliver another package. Like, you fired real fast.
So you guys want to have to solve the puzzles to get into the bathroom?
I think so.
It's
I know
easier to
the
manage.
urgency scares me, but I think once you train your body to just like, these are the times of day we go to the bathroom and that's it.
We, my soul, my mind, and my flesh. Let's have a meeting.
I meant like David and I.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not that we're going to the bathroom together. Never mind. Forget it.
You could work with the team.
Did accents,
then you could. Yeah, you need a team to do an escape room.
Actually, that would be nice. Could you? That's a good question. If you could employ others in your solving of these puzzles,
Sure, if they're around,
right? Because then that could be a nice reason to like have roommates. You'd be like, dude, I really got to pee right now. Please help me out.
Can you
with
help me
this stuff.
count these paintings on the wall?
Can you help me do some like
What do you
prime
think?
number
What do you
things?
think
I
that
don't know.
cat is looking at? Yeah, I actually think I would do the leave the building one because, like, with the bathroom, like, yeah, you could try to plan it out, but there's sometimes where you got to use the bathroom and you can't plan on it. So I'd rather be able to get into that bathroom without having to worry about putting a Rubik's Cube together or whatever.
Yeah.
And to leave the building, yeah, I'd be late, but I'd rather explain that than, like, poop my pants.
Yeah, and then have to explain that.
I think I would just set up hidden little outdoor bathroom spots at all the places that I frequent. So if there was an emergency, I could just run outside and go into a little bush.
No way. Libby would pop out of the ground and be like, "Nah, solve this riddle." And then you'd have to. She's the one that
Libby.
presents the puzzles too. See, that's what I thought too. I was like I could just go to the gas station bathroom, and then I realized, no, of course it's any bathroom. It's not
Right,
just
but
my bathroom.
A bush isn't a bathroom.
That's
I
true.
mean, if you use it as one.
Actually, that's a really good point, Emily.
No, it's not a
Especially
room.
as a man, I can get away with a lot.
I
of
know, I was just gonna
peeing
say, it's
and
easier for
even
you.
pooping in public.
How is pooping in public easier for a man?
Yeah,
I'll
David.
tell you when you're older.
I know. I
Please
wanna know,
don't.
too.
Please do not.
Stephanie Corthius says, would you rather enter an escape room that turned out to be a real serial killer's life or death puzzle, or an escape room consisting of defeating your worst fears in complex puzzle form to escape? I'm actually going to combine this with a question from Ryan David Schreck,
Yeah, I saw his.
who says, would you rather be in an escape room where you're actually trapped? So we'll say you're actually trapped in the serial killer room,
Right, that makes sense.
or you're recorded on national television as you work through an escape room based on your worst fears.
oh my gosh, that's good.
So yeah, here's the options. You're either in an actual room where you're trapped by a killer who's going to get you, or you're in a room, just an escape room, but it's based on your worst fears and it's broadcast on national TV.
I'm going with the fears
Yeah.
because I understand my fears and I know why they're scary, at least in some ways. And I also think it's important to face them. As someone who's been through a round of exposure therapy, lots of experience facing my fears. That's not true. I'm still terrified of so many things. But still, I feel like there's like just a little bit more understanding of those things. A serial killer's escape house.
Room.
I don't- It's just a room?
Just one. Just one room.
Oh, okay.
Maybe there's a
Sounds
secret
good. It was
room.
a
I don't
house.
know.
Oh.
I don't know who this person is. I don't know what their weird shit is. I'm not that good at escape rooms, so I feel like I'd probably just be killed.
Oh.
I do
I'm
like
not
the idea that the
super into
serial
that.
killer's escape room house, whatever it is classic riddles and puzzles.
Yeah, it's like solve this Sudoku,
Yeah.
and you're gonna get a
It's like
4-digit
It's
code.
like, I hope you're good at escape rooms because I made an on-brand escape room that's not very hard to solve.
If you can get this laser to shine in that
yeah,
painting.
I love that idea. Instead of the Saw movies, it's just some guy that like really wants you to solve puzzles, or he'll kill you.
Yeah.
Well, he'd probably kill me, is what I'm saying.
So, what do you think puzzles based on your worst fears would be? Like, what if you had to
Oh
give
my
actual
gosh.
blood to fill a jar that weighed down?
Well, I
a
don't know if
scale?
that would be. I don't know if that would be in it anymore because I
'Cause
feel
now you're
like
good.
but definitely there would be a doctor's office. For
Okay.
sure, there would be a doctor's
Yeah.
office, and
Okay.
it would be like mysterious tests that I don't know anything about what they are.
Okay.
Definitely be spiders, large spiders,
Mm.
mold. Really, really
Mold.
terrified of mold.
That would be pretty easy to set
So
up.
there
in an
would be
escape room
some
too.
disgusting mold-based thing. Oh god.
Like you have to reach into like a cupboard that has a bunch of mold. Yeah. Uh-oh.
That's a stress dream that I have,
Yeah.
that I encounter a lot of mold someplace.
You have to lick some mold on the wall to reveal a hidden message.
Jesus.
Lick the code into the wall to open the secret door into this Dr. Spider's office.
Dr. Spider.
It's me, Dr. Spider.
I have never done a
Just
lick
spider
based
with a little
puzzle.
lab coat on.
Aw, cute. Here's the advantage to that. You're on TV.
Yeah.
I assume this is like to be fair, fairly exploitative game show where they're like, hey, let's make people really, really sad and scared because they're
kinda like
confronting
Fear
their worst
Factor.
fears. Yeah, it's kind of like Fear
Yeah.
Factor, but tailored to what you know they hate, which is, that's pretty mean. But on the other hand, there are plenty of prank shows that are just as mean. I feel like it's actually cool to be on TV because at least you get to be on TV. And the other one, you literally die, maybe. Like
that is a
I'm
pretty
not
big
probably gonna
stakes.
die if I. My fears-based room though would be like creepy doppelgangers and heights. And I'm not sure how that would work, but I'm excited to find out.
Creepy doppelgangers. You're obsessed.
I'd just see myself, there'd be a lot of mirrors and I'd go down to brush my teeth, and then when I'd come back up, there'd be a person standing behind me. That sort of stuff is
person
my fear.
that's you.
Yeah, that's me, and he looks a little bit different and wrong
my
somehow.
gosh.
That's the nastiest. But I don't know how, that's a lot of work to do. And essentially, it's a haunted house at that point, not an escape room.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he's holding some numbers that I have to lick onto
Maybe
a
you
wall
have to-
filled with mold.
So many.
I like
lick
the heights
puzzles.
thing though. I feel like that could definitely be a thing. Who was that guy that did all those videos of him hopping around on the top of skyscrapers and shit? I mean, there's probably multiple
Bobby
dudes who do
Parkour.
that.
Was that his name?
Yes, it was. Thank you, Mike. But yeah, if
Peter
you had to
Parkour.
like hop between.
Especially if I had like VR or something.
That's a thing that you put a VR helmet on and you walk on this beam and you're actually over like a ball pit, but then like
Yeah, but
you
it looks
actually
like
feel
you're-
like you're up high.
God, that would
Yeah.
freak me out. Like that's
could-
the most visceral
That'd be a good
animal
escape room
fear that I
puzzle.
have. It's not really a puzzle.
Well, it could be. Well,
They'd make it one.
I
Yeah,
mean, not everything
sure.
in an escape room is like a puzzle.
That's
Sometimes
true.
it is like an experience where it's like you just got to go down these dark stairs, or
Right,
like I
Get
have
in
done,
this drawer.
where you literally have to get in a drawer,
Yeah,
or
I did
reach
it.
inside a mysterious hole that you don't know what's in
Oh,
there.
yeah, the fear hole.
God, I love how you're like scared of the drawers, but you're so excited about reaching into a mysterious hole.
Wait, Mike, which one would you pick?
Oh,
Which hole?
TV. I don't want to die.
Yeah.
I mean, like that one is like.
I mean, the idea of defeating a serial killer,
Sounds pretty cool.
that fires me up.
It'd be
I'm into
great.
that.
Fires. What if that was on TV?
Oh, yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
that.
Like
Oh,
Oh, geez.
like it would be
Well.
like To Catch a Predator, but it would be To Catch a Serial Killer in an escape room on TV. Workshopping the title. It's a little long.
maybe it's the serial killer that is the producer of the TV show, and he's like, to catch a me, you have to solve these puzzles, and so everyone that comes in is like an investigator trying to catch him, and they never win. That's my idea.
Brianna Ives comes to us with a question that is very academic, and I'm going to read the whole thing. Would you rather an escape room employ archaic historical scenarios and solutions of which you might not be aware of, like they're from antiquity, non-Western scenarios you're socio-culturally and epistemologically separate from, or you can participate in an escape room that bases its puzzles on a completely made-up basis, so like a fictional culture, like an alien culture?
Oh, okay. So essentially, either things that are so historical that I don't know them, or things that are actually made up.
Yeah.
My question is, and I guess, Mike, you can decide this because you are puzzle master today.
Yeah.
Are the puzzles themselves based on knowledge of that culture? Is it like an outside knowledge thing, or is it just that it's themed like ancient Mayan civilization or something, or like ancient aliens?
I'm going to say it's themed. And that's one of the cardinal rules of an escape room is it should not require outside knowledge.
Yeah.
They're both very well put together escape rooms, so
Sure.
they don't require outside knowledge. But we'll say one was discovered in like an ancient tomb, and it's like, surprise, it's an escape room
the
and you have
first
60
escape
minutes
room.
to get out. But the other one is designed now, but just like based on an alien society.
Honestly,
I-
the history one sounds cooler.
Really? I think
Yeah.
opposite. I think Alien one sounds cooler
Oh, yeah?
because I feel like I don't know that the possibilities of it just being something so surprising and strange are bigger. You know, like it's like why like reading sci-fi fantasy can be really fun because
fair.
it just anything can go. I feel like I have a basic idea of historical societies and mostly it sounds boring.
Oh, wow. Hot take
Take
on
that.
history.
History.
All of history.
All of the past.
I'm kind of
dunked on.
I'm kind of kidding, but kind of
Kind
not. So yeah, I pick Aliens.
Yeah, I pick history because it's one I don't know about.
But you do know about aliens?
I don't know about aliens, but I don't know. But it's fictional. That's the problem. It's like it's not actually from aliens that are real. Because we all know I'd pick that one.
Yeah, I
Like,
guess that could have been the
aliens
other. Like
landed
it's
on
actually
Earth and they were
aliens.
like,
They were like,
"Here's
here's
our escape room for you." Then like I would pick that one 10 out of 10. But because this one is based on a culture I don't actually know about, it might be kind of cool to like learn a little bit about the Blessapocamians or whoever these people are. I don't know.
Yeah, the made-up alien one would be coming from like a modern mindset.
Yeah.
And I do think it would probably end up being easier, maybe, because like you would kind of be able to think in that way. If it was well done, like it would still make logical sense. A different kind of escape room would reveal about the thinking of that society. Like
Yeah.
you're right, because it's not familiar to me. We
Right.
do think in a different way in different parts of the world now and in, I'm sure, throughout history. So it would be very interesting, yeah, even though maybe it would be boring and probably confusing and hard to solve because of that.
And I feel like
It'd be
people's
interesting.
motivations, I think that's the main thing is that like people back in ancient times were like, we need to stay alive long enough to have children and keep them alive long enough so they can have like people weren't like, what are my hopes and dreams? I don't know if I could relate to it.
Maybe that's the theme of the escape room. It's like stay alive long enough so you can
Yeah.
have kids.
Stay
I
alive
mean-
until you're 27 and then you
Yeah.
can die
That sounds
immediately
pretty
and you probably
fulfilling.
will. That's what old times were. People died.
Well, that's true. There wasn't really a leisure class until a few hundred years ago.
No, yeah.
So,
it was like find enough berries and kill enough weird animals to...
every day is an escape room in olden times.
It was.
I just want to read Laurie Castile's contribution, which just says something escape room on the moon. You guys want to add to that at all? There's no choice here. It's just
that sounds
escape
like
room on the
someone
moon.
who has listened to a lot of our episodes knows where we go.
I mean, an escape room on the moon does go nicely into our next segment, which is the meat. This is a segment where we talk about a more in-depth subject at length. This week, we're talking about escape rooms. If we could design our own room and the sky's the limit, you've got a sack full of $1 million.
I thought it's in a sack.
Yeah, it's in a sack, but you can only spend it on an escape room. What would you want to make for an escape room?
I thought about hacking this one. I would make an escape room that had a recording studio in it that had a lot of cool video games that
it had all my favorite snacks.
And I try to escape it every day. But that's
you just live there.
Yeah, I build myself a house that I try to escape.
I can't get out. Can you deliver more Cheetos,
Too
please?
much fun in here.
Because I do always want to play a character, and also because of how much I love the show The Americans. This scenario is that you are a spy. It is an escape room that is like spy. Let's say like 80s, 90s.
Okay.
Tech level.
Okay.
Because I don't really understand what current tech level is, and it has to be stuff that like we can interact with. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like it's a different world now.
Yeah.
And you have to pick a couple of different disguises and like spy characters that you play during it.
Okay.
So you have to like understand that character as well and be like, okay, so I'm a spy, but then I also, during this one part, I have to pretend like I am a nurse and my name is Linda, and I have to like make this phone call or interact with this person in that character. And then I have to quick switch and be this other one while I'm doing all these like things. So the thing that I feel like is the hardest about this is how it would be a room. I feel like it would have to be multiple rooms.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But if I have $1 million,
Exactly.
yeah, just that element of like character building and thinking about it from like a place of like how your interactions and who you are pretending to be at the time can contribute to how you solve a puzzle. Because in some scenarios you have to pretend to be clueless and like you're not actually looking for information, and then in others you can be more straightforward.
All of the other actors in those scenes are like, obviously they know you're playing the game,
right?
But like they're trying to hold you to a certain level of standard of like, if you say something out of character, they'll be interrogate you about it.
Yeah. They'll be like, that's none of your business. Why are you trying to ask me about my job with the government?
You're just a Linda.
Linda
Get
working at
here,
this
Linda.
coffee shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of the budget would go towards amazing wigs and costumes.
Amazing wigs.
Amazing wigs.
Well, I think, and going back to what you were saying earlier about escape rooms being a bubble, like I think if they're going to continue, they need to adopt elements of like participatory theater and like incorporating that, because that makes it fresh. Like that's like you could do the same room again and like play someone else, and it would be a different experience. And so that would be more than just usually you play a room, you're done.
Yeah, it would like the idea that it could be like an interactive and that you could even choose. So you like wake up in the morning and you're like, these are the 3 tasks that I need to accomplish today in order to report back to whoever. I guess maybe it would be weird to be playing a Russian spy in today's.
Yeah.
I mean, The Americans was a show and they pulled it off.
I know. But, so to report back to whoever it is you're spying for, and you can decide like, the first thing I'm going to do is go as this disguise and meet with my pretend friend from book club, even though I'm really meeting her because her husband works for the CIA or whatever. You know what I mean? And then I'm going to go to this meeting as this character, and then you can kind of like plan it all out, and like the choices you make and the way that you go about doing it can affect. It's really complicated.
Yeah, that's definitely like thing that not everyone would want to play or be good at playing, but the people that would want to would be like so into it that you could probably make it really expensive and it would be cool.
Yeah.
And you know,
and I
have
think
$1 million anyway, so you're fine.
I think what I'm really doing is just making it more of an interactive theater piece as opposed to a puzzle.
Oh no,
room.
that's fine. I think that's a logical extension of what you could do.
There would be puzzles in there too. I'm just not good at thinking about like what they would be.
There'd be like a game of checkers in the corner you could play.
If you want, and there's no, you don't get anything.
I'm
it's just
that
there.
is my problem in these rooms is that I love the moment of discovery and when you get to advance a step, and then when I see what the next thing is, I'm like, what is this? Look at it. There's like different color strings and letters, and this is insane. No one's ever gonna figure this out. I'm done.
I don't want
and
to
then
do
I
math.
just like go and like play with the goblet in the corner.
I would like to make a room where you don't know where it begins and ends.
Oh,
like,
no.
And maybe not as far as like, you know, it extending into your life. So what I'm talking about is I did one room where we figured everything out, we thought, and we were about to go out what we thought was going to be the exit door, and there was actually like another room there, or it had changed so that we were like, oh my gosh, we're not done, we have to solve more. And it like, for one thing, the effect like blew my mind because I was like, I didn't, what?
You didn't see
and
it
then
coming.
we were like freaking out and we barely got out. I like the idea of having a room where you would have to play with it being more than an hour, but like you leave the room and you think that it's done, but then like you're like trying to get out of the door and you're like the actual door you think to get out of is actually locked. And then you start looking around the room and you like, I don't know. I mean, it would still have to have clues to be fair. Like it's not like it's just going to be you trying to break out of a room, like actually, but you would find like another clue, like, oh, we left the building now and now we'll have to find my secret key or whatever.
Yep.
Something.
Yeah, it turns into the whole apartment complex instead of just like one little room. It's like this week long.
Well, I think it wouldn't take super long. They'd have to be like, well, allow for like extra time.
Yeah.
I do think it would be great just to like mess with people's heads. Or also like have a room where you go in and you think you're in the waiting room and they come in and check you in, but then they just like leave you in there and then you realize that like that's the part of the room and you're like, are they going to come back? There's an inherent cheesiness to escape rooms, right? Like no matter how well designed they are, how fun the puzzles are, and that's fine. I mean, it should be a little silly. And I like the ones that embrace the silliness. But I think like if you were able to kind of like make people be like, oh, like this isn't what I thought. Like we actually have to get out of this room. It would be surprising in a way that escape room can't. Because now it's like, I mean, I've done a fair amount of rooms now, and it's like you kind of expect certain things. So rooms that kind of mess with your expectations, that's a lot of fun. And so I think that would kind of, it would make it feel fresh in a way that it's hard for like no matter how well decorated a mansion or island or pirate room is.
Pirate room. Would it be kind of like almost mundane in some ways then?
Yeah, well, I think it would lead into something cool. Like it wouldn't just always just be like, oh, we're stuck in the lobby. Like I think it would lead into like a much cooler thing. The initial like either beginning or ending would be like, oh, like this is the escape room. But then you'd probably go into another room and there would be, I don't know, a secret moon base because it's got to be on them.
See, all of this would be so enhanced by actors.
Oh yeah, well that could be part of it too.
Like in that one, I imagine like the idea that they're actively like trying to throw you off or acting in a certain way that plays into that feeling of the game has already begun.
Yeah.
Or the post game where you come back out into the lobby and then the person that let you in and told you how the room was going to work is like panicking. And
or
is
dead.
Like, or dead, right? Or something. And they're like, oh no, like I can't get out of this room. Like somebody locked me in as a joke. I don't know. And then they wink just to make sure you know that like they're acting and it's okay. But then they go back and they don't wink anymore. And they're like, but seriously, we got to get out of this room now. And then you escape that one. And then, people playing along I think would help because that gives direction. Otherwise, the people in the lobby that are like, has the room begun? Might just sit there and think, has the room begun for like hours and hours.
You'd maybe have to have someone come in and like point them like, oh, you're still in the lobby. You better find a way out.
Actors, baby, actors. Do you want to know my idea?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is called the Ford Escape Room. And it is an escape room that is actually a Ford Escape.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
You get locked inside an SUV. And I actually came up with some kind of fun ideas. Like, I don't know what the narrative would be, but I think it would be like a specific serial killer or something that locks people in their own cars to be like, you think you know your family? Think again. You're going to learn some secrets about them. Or so, I don't know, something like that. Some stupid premise, because they all have stupid premises like that.
Yeah.
But the point is, you're locked in your own car, but it's a Ford Escape. You went on a road trip and you tried to get out at the rest stop and you're locked in and it's midnight and you can't get out. So you have to solve the puzzle.
Is this individual just you, or is there a group
I
in
think
there
it could
and you're
be
all
up to
playing
4.
a family?
Yeah, it could be up to 4, maybe 5.
Do you have to, is like one of you dad and one of you mom?
I like that idea.
Okay.
That you have to sign up for specific
Me
roles.
too. Also,
and
main
you
thing
can
is I
only sit in
love
specific
on road
seats.
trips, I love just like figuring out who's the dad and
Yeah.
who's the mom.
Who's the dad? Some of the puzzles would include things like, of course, you could like find stuff in the glove box that would be interesting. I think answers to the puzzles might include, no spoilers for people that eventually do this escape room that I designed, but putting in the right CD and finding the right track that actually tells you a secret through the sound system, or like setting the air conditioning to the right level.
Yep.
Like, oh, Susie's cold. She likes it at 68, but Jimmy likes it at 76. What's the answer? And then it's like 68, 76 is a code to like open some other thing or something. I don't know. Like incorporating all of the elements of a car and doing them in specific orders, I think would be really fun and really cool.
You could look through the gas station plastic bag that was just like the trash from your last snack run, but you could look through it to find a clue you actually need.
Yep.
And maybe a few extra Cheetos.
Maybe, if you're lucky.
Maybe.
From the trash?
I mean, it's not like a public garbage can. It's the where you guys put your wrappers from your snacks.
Yeah. Okay, here's a question. If you went through the trash and there was an unopened bag of Cheetos in the trash of this escape room, would you open it and eat them?
Yeah.
I would.
Unopened?
Yeah, unopened.
I would love it if there were snacks in it.
I know. That would be
unopened
great.
bag of
Yeah.
Cheetos is an invitation.
To a party.
God.
Would the car be moving?
No. One of
What
the
if it
reasons
was?
that would be pretty fun, actually. Like hurtling towards, it's like speed. Like if it goes less than 60 miles per hour, it explodes. No,
You have to drive the car and
that
solve
would
the
be
puzzle.
pretty awesome, actually, but very dangerous. I
Yeah.
think the reason I came up with this in the first place is I love the idea of a portable escape room, and you can drive a car anywhere. You can drive a car anywhere. You heard it here first, folks. You can drive it to an event and be like, hey, there's a food truck. There's also an escape room that you can do if you want to. $10. Get in here, solve this puzzle.
Ooh, what if it was on like, you know how like a closed course driver's ed course is
That
like a
would be
little
good.
fake,
Yeah.
with like a little fake roads and
That would be pretty
people
sweet.
and stuff.
And like the car is on a track or something, and it like dodges deer.
Yeah.
And there's
It could be like a
robot
ride.
driving it that says that's dad, but he's like, better hurry up and solve those puzzles.
Stop yelling, kids.
Don't make me come back there.
They could give you hints too, yeah.
Yeah, robot dad. Okay, there's a robot dad.
Our next segment is called Would You Blanket? This is a segment where we present a scenario to one of us, and then the others of us make that scenario more or less appealing until it gets real weird or gets cool. So today, David will be the unsuspecting fun guy.
That's what we call it. The unsuspecting fun guy.
We're going to make an escape room just for you, David, because this is going to be, would you escape it? And you're going to go in an escape room and some stuff's going to happen.
Oh, God.
And you're just going to have to tell us whether you would punch out of there before the time or if you would continue.
Okay, so I can always say like red flag or whatever,
Yeah.
white flag, I guess, not red
Safe
flag.
word.
That's different.
Well, yeah, you could see a red flag thing and be like white flag.
Red
bye.
flag, white flag. Great.
Let's say you're doing this room with your family too.
Yes, my mom's gonna
Just
be
make it
here.
into your mom. Yep, your
She
mom.
has to be here.
Your whole fam. You, your brother, your mom and dad.
Nice.
We love you, Helen.
I like you a lot. This escape room it's a mystery escape room. Let's say that, like a lot of my Would You Blankets, you get a letter at midnight. A letter at midnight with
letter at midnight.
Yeah, you get a knock on the door and you look and there's a black envelope.
Oh
and
my
it has
God.
an address and it just says, do you want to escape? And then it has a key and there's an address and a time. So
Oh my
you know where you
God.
got to go.
Is it tonight? Do I have to go tonight?
It's
Like
tomorrow.
right
it's the
now?
next night.
Oh, the next night.
At
So I have
at
24 hours
midnight
to
the
decide.
next night.
Good. I'm glad it's at midnight though. That's
Yeah,
good. That
but,
makes me happy.
But of course, you call up your whole family to come with you to this
Yeah.
escape
Hey, what are you
room.
guys doing tomorrow
naturally.
night? Does the note say that I should do that?
Get your mom.
Get your
That's what it
mom.
says. Yeah, it's in like a warehouse district, And
Okay.
you open up the door and go in, and it's just like a dingy industrial room, concrete on the ground. And as you shut the door, like a giant clock starts counting down from an hour.
Okay.
And so there's no like game master, but you're just in this room, and that's it for now. So you're just in the room.
Okay.
Are you just going to stay in the room?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
there's nothing bad that's happened
Okay.
yet. So it's me and my dad and my mom and my brother.
Yeah.
And we brought ourselves to this room, and we haven't seen any people at all.
No.
We just went in, and then it locked behind us.
Yeah.
And we were like, and the clock started.
Yeah.
No, I'm staying. This is
Okay.
awesome so far.
Okay.
This is really cool. Like, I understand that some people might be wary of this. And I think if I were alone and more vulnerable than I am in my life, I would probably be like, I'd be a little more scared. But no, man, I got my fam.
Okay.
My brother's stronger than anyone.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you're there, and the first thing that happens is the lights in the room get low.
Okay.
And then
Whoa.
images are projected on all of the walls, and all of the images are pictures of you and your family members when you didn't realize that someone was taking a
Oh
picture
my
of
God,
you.
that's so scary. Holy shit.
And then there's a recorded voice that comes over, and it says, "Do you really know your family?"
Oh, if there's a seat somewhere, I sit down and I buckle up and I'm like, yeah, let's do this. I'm excited. This is weird. It's honestly scary. Like people having pictures of you when you didn't know they did is one of the scariest things that can happen to a person. But I'm into it for some reason.
Great.
Okay, so your dad leans against one of the concrete walls, and it gives way to a secret passage.
His classic thinking pose.
Yeah.
Gotta lean.
It opens into
Dads
a
are
room
leaners.
that is made up to look just like your childhood bedroom.
Perfect.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And so all your favorite toys are in there.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a plaque on the wall that says, "The first key is inside that which you love the most." But it's like above a thing of your like stuffed animals.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And all your toys. So you
Uh-huh.
have to like wreck all of it
Oh,
to try to
okay.
find the key.
That's fine.
Okay. So you're already just fine with that.
Well, that's fine. I don't know what else is going to happen, but I don't know. They're not my actual toys. Oh, well, maybe they are, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they
yeah,
went
it's like
to my
it looks
house
like
and-
your actual toys.
So it's suspicious to the point where like Snowball has the exact same wear that he had when I was a
Sure.
kid. Like they may have gone to my parents' house and taken these things. Dang, that's actually scary.
Who's Snowball?
I've talked about Snowball on this podcast where he was my favorite stuffed animal and I pretended he was real and I lied to my brother a lot about him.
Oh, what animal was he?
A little white bear. A little
Okay.
polar bear, but like a stuffed animal.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, so maybe the key's inside Snowball.
It probably would be.
So you got to wreck Snowball
I
up.
gotta wreck him. Honestly, I don't even know where he is at this point in my life. I'm fine with wrecking Snowball.
Oh, no.
Cool. So you find the key in Snowball.
Yes.
Snowball is in shambles at your feet.
Hmm.
And you, after retrieving the key, you look up and you see in your family member's eyes just like a little bit of doubt at like they thought they knew you and look what you just did. But you're still going.
The voice says, "Do you really know your family?"
And then you are able to open up the closet, which actually leads into your childhood kitchen.
Yes, it's just our house. Yes.
So now you're in a recreation of the
Yes.
kitchen, and
This is
there's
very
a
vivid for me and no one else
Right.
because, actually, everybody at home just picture your
own
childhood kitchen.
So there's instructions on the table to your parents to start cooking a meal that they used to cook a lot when you guys were little. So they start cooking.
Yeah, Swedish meatballs.
Great. They start making Swedish meatballs, and you and your brother are just sitting there. While you guys are sitting there waiting for dinner to be made, you guys you each find a little card, a little envelope that has your names on it, and you open it up.
Okay.
And you don't know what your brother says, but yours says, "David, you have to tell them what you did." What?
Okay. Okay.
What do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah, what are you going to do, David?
I don't know. I guess I wonder what would happen if I don't know what that means.
If you told them
What I
what you
did.
did, what did you do?
What did I do? I don't know. I mean,
I think you do.
I'm trying to think of times I've lied to my parents about like things that I did. And like, I remember there was a window that I broke with a soccer ball that like I vehemently denied.
And it has to be something
And-
that they still don't know.
Right, that they still don't know. So like, if you're listening, mom and dad, like that was me, and you probably know it was me. Let's be honest. Like, there weren't that many other people that could have broken that window. But I distinctly remember that being like a big lie for conscious of lies, David. I'm going to deny this even though there's no better explanation. I'm just like, I don't know. Couldn't have been me. But that doesn't seem like something a puzzle room wants me to tell. So maybe I would just like sit there and just start telling my parents like a lot of weird stuff that I've done and be like, hey, what do you think of this one, puzzle room? What about this one? Like, I don't know.
So, but you would do it. You would
Sure,
start
yeah.
divulging. You wouldn't press the get me out of here button.
No, because this is a good mechanic for a puzzle room. I really like this. You're getting the people inside to talk to each other about their lives. And I have a good enough relationship with my parents and my brother that I don't really like keep things from them. Like I never really have, like my parents know pretty much everything about my life. They don't like it all, but they know it. And so I'm not like I'm not scared of them finding out how the other one lives, so to speak.
Okay.
I mean, it'd be pretty embarrassing depending on how nasty I go.
Oh my. All right. So you start to tell them, and suddenly you tell them a secret so shocking about yourself that your mom slips up and drops the pot of Swedish meatballs on the ground.
No.
Which it's a Swedish meatball triggered switch. It opens up a pit full of Swedish meatballs. And there's a
dive in.
plaque that says the second key lies beneath the meatballs. And so one of you or you is going to have to dive into that pit of
Yeah.
meatballs
Oh my
and
God.
find the key. Are you going to do it?
No, I'm going to make my brother do it. I had to tell everybody my nastiest secrets. He has to get nasty in those meatballs.
He won't do it.
Oh, then I'll do it. It's fine.
You're fine.
Yeah, I have to find out if you can swim in meatballs / sausages.
I
so
think meatballs would be easier than sausages.
I'll jump in there. Honestly, that is something I would sincerely do in a puzzle room right now.
Right.
Not for fun, but like if the key was in a lake of meatballs.
Lake.
That doesn't bother me as much as some other things would. Like that's just getting physically dirty. I can shower. Like it's not a big deal. It doesn't gross me out.
What would gross him out?
That's the problem we're being presented
No,
with
I
right
know.
now.
I'm just.
What?
Let's like really think about it.
Okay, let's really do this. Let's get serious.
Yeah. There's also a diaper in there.
I mean, that's the perennial problem with this segment is that you two would do
I know,
anything.
I know.
You're
It is.
disgusting.
I just really want David to dive into meatballs.
I know.
And
you
that
do.
did
I know
happen.
you do.
I went in.
There it
I
is.
found that key.
There's a noise.
Okay, so we found the meatball key. That key leads you to your childhood garage. Did you guys? You had a garage, I'm assuming.
Right. Yes, we did.
Your parents are sent off to a different place in the house and you don't know what, but they seem upset.
Uh-oh.
But they're going off to another room. You don't know where, you don't know what's up.
Yeah.
You and your brother end up in the garage and there's a flickering light bulb, pretty dark. There's a toolbox sitting in the middle of the floor and painted on the floor right next to the toolbox. It just says, fight.
The choice is to fight my brother with tools or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think my brother and I we are similarly game minded, as you said in the intro, Emily. I think we would start by like trying to just like fight, like haha, like
Like
plink,
fencing
plink, plink, like
style?
see if that's it's just a puzzle. It's not a big deal. We just have to pick up swords and like fight, but not actually trying to hurt each other. And I assume the room would probably like tell us that we needed to like try to win fight. If I had to get in a fight with my brother and beat him with tools, I don't think I could do that. If the room really needed me, is it specific after we start fighting?
Well, nothing happens.
Oof. Oh, I can just picture my brother being like, come on, you gotta hit me. You gotta really try. Like, because
Yeah.
he gets intense, and he would get intense about this puzzle because he loves to win. Oh my God. I don't think I could like potentially kill my
Beat
brother.
your brother with
tool.
a wrench?
Yeah, I don't think I could do that.
That's a good answer.
I don't think I could.
That's a good answer, David. Jesus.
I'm like trying to think of all of the things that I would do that
Took you a
aren't
long
that.
time.
Well, and I was like, no, none of that's all of that's cheating. The choice is fight your brother or say no.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I would look around the room for another way out. And they're like, no, David, that's saying no. So no, I would not
All right.
escape that room, which is hurt your brother very badly with wrenches.
Aw.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying, oh, that's so sweet.
Oh, it's so
that
sweet.
You wouldn't physically assault your brother.
It's true. I wouldn't. I love the fight.
You take so long in your indecision that the room starts to fill with water.
Oh
Whoops.
Whoops.
And then a monitor comes down and you can see that your parents are in another similar room also filling with water.
Are they fighting?
They are fighting. They fought and they were like, man, I bet
They
those
went
boys
for
are
it.
fighting each other like we are. What happens is you see there's a valve on the wall that you can turn. Those rooms are connected and so they can tilt. And if you tilt your room up, there's an exit in the roof of the room that you can get to.
Yeah.
But that means that your parents' room is underwater and they probably aren't going to make it. Or you can tilt it the other way and they'll be able to maybe get out and you'll probably die. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What now?
I mean, this is the final choice of the room. And I would definitely save my parents because I think the room is probably set up to reward. It's a room set up to say, like, will you do the right thing under pressure, literal water pressure? And like, the answer is yes. I will turn it so my parents can get out. My brother and I will try to struggle out after that. And I assume some sort of hatch will open or some light will come on and be like, ding, 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 you did the selfless thing. Great job. If that doesn't happen, I guess my brother and I will just die. But I'm okay with that because I don't want to live the rest of my life knowing that I killed my parents.
A good escape room should always leave you with that.
So you're going to die?
Yeah, I choose death.
Yeah, you do actually die, though.
Okay.
Whoops. All right. Well, we are going to finish up with a little final segment we call If I Were You, where we just talk about stuff that we might like to do if we were you. Anybody got some ideas of things they'd like to talk about today?
I'm going to recommend a friend of mine recently got something from the Mysterious Package Company.
Oh.
It's rather expensive. It's like between $80 and $200. Some of them are even more expensive, but it is a multi-month subscription service that you buy for yourself or someone else that contains a mystery that's delivered in multiple segments with like actual artifacts and cool papers written by people. It's a little bit like reading a novel that is delivered to you a bit at a time with like extra stuff in it too.
That's cool.
It's really well produced stuff from what I can tell across the board, and there's a reason it's so expensive, but it's such a cool idea, and it's a little bit like the thrill you get when you like handle objects in an escape room and have to figure out how they fit together, because it's almost always a mystery. It's almost always like, oh, they found some treasure at the bottom of an ocean. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So look that up, the Mysterious Package Company.
I want to recommend not an escape room, but a movie that is called Beyond the Seventh Door.
I almost recommended this.
So this is a movie from the 80s starring a man named Lazar Rockwood. He's kind of like Tommy Wiseau before it was cool.
Oh,
and so he's in this movie where the whole premise is him and his girlfriend are trying to break into this guy's house to get money, but it ends up being a series of traps to go through these doors, and there's like 7 rooms. To be honest, actually a pretty terrible movie.
Yeah, it sucks.
And not even necessarily good in a bad sense, but it's just amazing that it exists. And it's on Amazon Prime, so it's free if you want to watch something that's very bizarre.
If you're about to do an escape room with a person for the first time, just watch Beyond the Seventh Door, and you'll pretty much know what it's going to be like.
And you'll probably feel better when you do the room, because
That's
they
true.
take a long time. Yeah. But anyway, Beyond the Seventh Door.
I have not been doing anything lately except for moving and packing and being in a play. So this is very self-serving, but you know what? Welcome to me. If I were you, I would go see the play Dial M for Murder at Gremlin Theater in St. Paul, Minnesota. We run through the 30th of September. I am in it. It is spooky and exciting and tense and British and set in the 50s. And the theater is a really cool little cozy theater space, and I think it's a fun show, and I think it'll set you up for a spooky fall mood. So you should come see it. Gremlin Theater, Dial In for Murder.
Sweet.
Fun.
I am going to go see it.
Cool. If you would like to find us on the internet someplace, you can. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram, hypotheticast_IG. We're also on Twitter at Hypotheticast. You could send us an email, hypotheticast@gmail.com, or find us on our website, hypotheticast.club. In all of those places, you can reach out, say hi, ask us a question, answer one of the questions we ask, or just look at us.
Yeah.
Just look.
Or write a review of us on any podcast app, including iTunes. We appreciate reviews. This week, we got a review from a listener. That listener is Nolly NM. They said, "It's just the best, you guys. It took me 2 weeks to realize that my app had unsubscribed me from this podcast, and I suddenly realized why I'd been so sad."
Aww.
You've been sad lately. Check those subscriptions, because this is a surefire way to become unsad. And also tell us some friends about us. Even better, you can share or interact with our posts on Facebook. Suck it, Zuck. It says it. I had to read it. It says it on the thing.
Contractually obligated.
I mean, suck it, Zuck. Thank you to Jane James and the Hunger for their song Killin' It, which is our theme song. It's real good. If you want to listen to it, it's on their album Raw. If you like our logo, you should thank Christian Hagen. We sure do every day. Thank you, Christian Hagen, for that logo. And thank you to you, the listener, for submitting questions. We got a lot of really good ones this week. Thank you for just listening, because that's also important and cool. Keep being you. Keep being strong.
Be true to yourself.
Our last segment on the Hypotheticast is called No Questions Asked, where I asked one question and then we asked no other questions. It's from Scott Monsma. Would you rather be in an escape room with a horse-sized duck or in one with 100 duck-sized horses?
100 duck-sized horses.
100. No. Duck.
What? Answer. Yeah, horse-sized duck. Bye.
Bye.
I'm marching, marching. 'Cause I'm killing it. I'm killing it. I'm killing it. I'm killing it.
Be true to your heart.
Be true to your
as
school.
Mulan once
True
said.
to your heart. No, that's Phil Collins in Tarzan.
Wow.
You must be true to your heart.
I'm pretty sure it's the credits to Mulan.
Guys, I think every Disney movie has the message "Be true to your heart," so let's not
Like
fight.
I'm like that does sound like Phil Collins.
True to Your Heart is the closing song of Mulan. It was performed by 98 Degrees and Stevie Wonder.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Damn it.
Haha.